Good morning. Welcome back to Sandra P's Gen Extra. If this is your first time here, welcome. Hello, Mama Bees. One of my moderators came in. Thank you so much. I appreciate you joining me for the live review. This is the Married to Medicine review. I was here earlier for the Real Housewives of Potomac review. And thank you so much for coming for this one. I appreciate it. And if you are subscribed, thank you so much for being a subscriber. I welcome all of my new subscribers. I thank all of you, and I really appreciate it. If you have just come in, go ahead and like the video. If you would rather on your way out, then do that. But I appreciate it in any case. I am Sandra P's Gen Extra. This is our Married to Medicine review, and this is Season 12, Episode 2, Makeups and Breakups. So we're going to start off kind of where we left off. Last week, there is an aftermath of Dr. Mimi's and Steve's Polo Classic. So I'm going to test something out. I have a few clips that I wanted to show. I had a Sandra P's Extra based on Dr. Jackie insulting Brandy. Welcome back, Sharon Gobble. Thank you so much for coming back for the Married to Medicine review. Sharon came in, spoke to myself and the chat. I'm back. Thank you for coming back. This is Season 12, Episode 2. Now, with Sandra P's Gen Extra, I give little extras, things that happened during the week on the shows that I covered. And I think I'm going to be able to show a clip. I'm excited because I'm learning a new MacBook, and I think I have it down. So we'll see. But we all came to a consensus that Dr. Jackie was not sorry about what she did to Brandy. Is your thyroid enlarged? Dr. Jackie thought that was cute. She did apologize after she got the backlash. But I'm going to show you an interview that she did with Neighborhood Talk.
I can help you. I can help you. I know this one. Yeah, it's a problem. We're typically laughing and playing and talking about things out of scene. And then when you get back in scene, the audience didn't hear those conversations. So oftentimes they feel like shady conversations, but we already had the conversation. And then some of the ladies will take an opportunity to turn you into an example when I had already talked to you about some issues.
I feel like you were just in doctor mode.
Do y'all hear that? The lady was asking her, do you feel like you were just in doctor mode? And Dr. Jackie is acting like Brandy is trying to get clout off of her, and they had already talked about it. So it sounds like Dr. Jackie is trying to say editing. Now, in this long apology she gave Brandy, she said, I'm 62 or 67. I'm trying to get it fixed on the internet. It's got me out there at 67, but I'm going through menopause. I can't take estrogen. Dr. Jackie had 3 to 4 excuses in a whole paragraph of apologies. So now she's pretending that Brandy's trying to get clout, even though she was the one who insulted Brandy. So that just annoyed me. And then I have another clip I'll share later when we talk about this other recurring incident. I mean, it happened years ago. It was brought back up. And now the two people that shouldn't want it to come back up are bringing it up again. So just follow with me and we will talk about it again. Sorry, I don't believe Dr. Jackie. I don't either. Because if they had talked about it before, why bring it up again on camera? Is your thyroid enlarged? If you've talked to the lady about it and you know that it is enlarged, why are you saying that on camera? And don't blame editing. Dr. Jackie's been here all 10 years, 12 years. She knows better. So I don't. And then Angel's wearing my cloak of immunity. So I'm not going to blame Angel for, not Angel, this is Brandy. Brandy didn't do anything. Brandy was 100% correct. And I loved her apology. And I don't believe Dr. Jackie either. So we start out this week. We have those mini scenes that they do. Dr. Contessa is in the car. She calls her son. He misses her call and she's fussing. She says she's going to dock him $1 per missed call. So I guess he sends her a call directly to voicemail. Dr. Contessa does seem kind of like a nag. She's always kind of fussing. We have Dr. Simone in her office. She is asking the assistant named Shamia, y'all. She says, Shamia, who is your favorite? Was it Dr. Jackie or me? She said both. Who's the toughest boss, Dr. Jackie or me? She says both. She said, who's the sweetest, Dr. Jackie or me? Shamia says both. Y'all, I love the staff, the Black doctors and their Black staff. I can't get enough of that. I love the fact that they do this. Welcome in, Kiwan JTV. Thank you, my fellow content creator, for joining my live. Hey, Grand Rising, Sandra and chat. Thank you so much. This is the Married to Medicine Review. We just started it. I showed a video of old Dr. Jackie pretending that Brandy is trying to use her for clout. She insulted Brandy, yet Brandy's using her for clout. So she said she's happy to help. So Dr. Jackie wasn't sorry at all, y'all, which we knew. Mama B's greeting everyone. So Simone high fives Shamia, because Shamia is a diplomat. I know that's right. Shamia, she doesn't know if she's going to have to go back to Dr. Jackie's office, so I wouldn't be talking bad about her either. So I love to see the doctors and their Black staff in Atlanta. It just makes me proud. So Dr. Eugene comes home to a note. Toya said, meet her by the pool. And he said he wished that she would have him meet him in the bedroom. Dr. Eugene, get out of those scrubs and get your shower. This is the thing that bothers me about Dr. Eugene. He comes in, he's just talking, he's got his wine. Take a shower. You've had to drive 5 hours. You've been in a hotel. You've been at the hospital. He's still in scrubs. In the bushes at the DMV. I hope it goes quickly and uneventfully, Mama Bees. Thank you so much for being in the bushes. So Toya comes into the kitchen with him. She says, we had a lot to talk about Mimi's party. She said it was really cute, but it was odd. Heavenly missed it. Oh, somewhere along the line, they talked about Eugene actually is more interested in intimacy with her when he used to be the one tired all the time. And now Toya's tired all the time. She yawned right in his face in the confessional. I thought that was so cute. Sharon is laughing. So they walk back in the kitchen. Toya's cooking for him, y'all. Usually Toya would have her glass of wine and Eugene would be cooking. But Toya, I like this. He only had to get a job 5 hours away for Toya to start acting right. No, I like their relationship. They make me laugh. So Eugene is drinking a big glass of wine in his scrubs. We want Eugene to take a shower, but he is drinking his wine. Toya's filling him in more on the classic because he couldn't go. He had to work. He's away, as we know, 4 to 5 days a week now because he works 5 hours away. So she's cooking for him, and they're talking about Heavenly. She said it's odd for Heavenly to miss what she never misses. We found out last week Dr. Heavenly hasn't missed an event in 12 years. Now, the show has been on 12 seasons, and she wasn't even featured in the first season, and she was still there. So this is because of Damon Jr., and we know it. Heavenly is saying, look at this, Daddy. And then she has this cute little thing on her computer. Dr. Heavenly is doing her marketing and says, I want to be your next state senator. And she says, I'm more than just a dentist. She's an author. She has her real estate license. We've never said Dr. Heavenly wasn't brilliant. Dr. Heavenly is a force. She is also a loudmouth. She is rude, a lot of times socially unacceptable, and she can be very, very foul. So we do know that about Dr. Heavenly. But right now we're going to brag on her. She says, I'm bold, I'm smart, I'm ready. And she is doing something right. You look at Zach and Alora, and even we've never heard anything about Damon Jr. until this incident on campus with the campus police. And I'm inclined to be on his side until we hear more about it. So we don't know if he was fighting with campus police, what happened. But Dr. Heavenly is saying, I got to know what's out there. We are public figures. So she's trying to clean it up. Even though she didn't think this was going to come on the show, I fully think she thought she could kind of suppress it and they could lie about it, but it's out there now. So Dr. Damon is saying, this is just another step we have to take. We've done these steps before. Toya and Eugene are in their kitchen talking about it. Toya is saying, should we campaign for her when she's so messy? Now Eugene is laughing. That's a step too far. He's in the confessional saying, we're at a time now where any and everybody can run for office and they can say whatever they want, but I don't see how I can campaign for her. I have to believe in the campaign. So I agree with that. Now, production, what are y'all going to do with Dr. Heavenly? Because production shows reels and reels of Dr. Heavenly being a wild banshee. She's calling Toya trash. She told Contessa, yo, mama's stupid. She provoked Dr. Contessa to Dr. Contessa said, square up. Oh, and Dr. Contessa put her dukes up on TV, a doctor. So Dr. Heavenly, she has it in her. So she's doing that fake high voice. Daddy, you got to tell me what's going on. He said, well, I handled it the way I handled it. Anybody have an opinion, they can see me about it. So Dr. Damon is talking tough, y'all. He's talking tough. Sharon Gobble said, Heavenly and Daddy seem, that's how I was looking at it. It seemed really contrived. Kiwan JTV said, child. Y'all make sure you go over there and watch Kiwan JTV. I didn't get to watch it yet because I had to do mine for. I'm suspicious. I know what you thought about it, I think, but I want to see it for myself. Dr. Heavenly's a trip, but I don't think production's gonna help her out, y'all. That reel they showed, that was brutal. Cause that's been who she is. We getting the baby voice and all that. Daddy, I don't know what to do, Daddy. Well, I handled it. I didn't want you to worry about it, baby. Come on, y'all. Come on. It's nothing against Damon Jr. because I don't want any of the children in trouble. We watch them grow up on TV, and I think they're all great kids, but Dr. Heavenly and Toya said it. You can't always talk about everybody's family, their finances, their kids, their house, their everything, and everyone's afraid to push back on you. Welcome, Doc Willie. Good to see you in the live. Thank you so much for coming in. This is Married to Medicine. We're getting on Dr. Damon and Dr. Heavenly. She's talking about she's running for office to be state senator. So she says, I know we public figures, baby, but when you told me Buddy was arrested, y'all, this was acting. This was some bad Tubi acting. She must got that from Quad. If I find the info out on Twitter, how am I supposed to feel? She was trying to make like she was getting ready to cry. She said, we can't have no secrets, baby. You can't never not tell me everything. Y'all, this was crazy. We get a confessional with Dr. Heavenly. She's talking regular. She said, when I first found out, my heart dropped. Now, Dr. Heavenly, we can get with this. We can understand this. She said, when I first found out, my heart dropped. Damon Jr. is at Georgia State. And then they showed a scene, y'all. I've forgotten this. Remember Zach shadowed Heavenly in her office? He's in Meharry Medical School. He was shadowing her in the dental office, but they showed a scene where Damon Jr. shadowed her as well. So these boys are brilliant. Alora, too. Alora was down there at Florida State, but she left. She's more of a social butterfly. She wanted to try her hand at being an influencer. But I said if Alora's going to move anyway, she could have went to Next Gen NYC, help Riley out, because Alora don't play. Alora would have had Charlie and them talking different. They wouldn't play with her the way they play with Riley. Heavenly can't be saved. She constantly puts her foot in her mouth. Yeah. I see her at the Georgia State House talk about your mama. Up there with old ugly Marjorie Taylor Greene, and she don't quit. Yo, mama. Now, Heavenly doesn't fight, so at least she won't put hands on him, but she'll put that big Florida mouth on him. And I'd have to be on her side if she was at the Georgia State Senate doing that. So Dr. Damon's not sorry that he didn't tell her. And then this part was a little sad, y'all. She said, I don't know what I done. Is it me that he won't come around? She said, I haven't physically seen him in months. She said, now the way I reacted, it might have been a lot of yelling. It might have been a lot of cussing. It might have been. Y'all, I can't imagine what Heavenly said to that boy. She said, can you make him come home to see his mom and daddy? I'm not joking, y'all. If you didn't watch it, this is what Dr. Heavenly was doing. Kiwan J, if you're still in here, you can testify. That's what Dr. Heavenly was doing. And he said, she said, I love him so much. I miss him so much. Why did he leave? And Dr. Damon said, well, things happen. Buddy, things happen you don't want to happen. And only God can do that. I can't make him come home. Now, Dr. Heavenly, with Dr. Damon's reaction, and we already know he don't tell you everything, he's in touch with Damon Jr., and Damon Jr. is fine. You just got too reckless about your mouth. This is a grown man. He did need y'all's help, and he still needs y'all's help. But Dr. Heavenly, just watching you, I know you was talking crazy to that boy. He'll be back, though. So she was sincere. She says she missed him so much. And I don't monitor what people say or do, but Dr. Heavenly, you got to do something about that mouth. That's just too much. Because Dr. Heavenly is a force. Sharon doesn't believe it, but I know she can do better. Sharon said, don't save you because you don't want to be saved. Kiwan J is laughing. This scene was, some of it was bad to be acting, but enough of it was sincere that I had compassion for Dr. Heavenly and Damon Jr. always. Buddy needs to stop with that voice. He is a trip, like he's so calm. I bet when Dr. Heavenly start talking crazy in that house, I bet we can get some bass out of Damon. I just don't believe it. So Dr. Scott and Contessa are checking the building. I hope y'all be all right with this building. It's hard to get construction built now. The people scared to come to work. So Dr. Scott said, this is going to be a lifestyle building. We got a boardroom, an exam room, a full kitchen. Dr. Contessa comes in. The toilet's still sitting there. I asked him, was the toilet still sitting there? Dr. Contessa is a control freak. So you have to give that away. If you've ever had any type of construction, you got to relinquish all that. The designer comes in. She brings samples. They ask her how long. She said 2 months. Contractor says 2 weeks, but he been saying that for 3 months. So Contessa's upset. She said, we moved out of our old office space and I'm losing patience because every time they feel like they can't see me in this space because it's not ready, she's losing patience. We find out Dr. Contessa got 2 jobs. And Dr. Scott told us last week that he gets off work at 4 and gets home at 4:30. Dr. Scott, you need to pick up another job. And Dr. Contessa, you need to drop half of one. Buddy needs to stop with that voice. Sharon said from that scene, it's all an act. Keywan J, you think it's all an act? I think it is. I think she's trying to force the audience to be a little more sympathetic. Most of us are waiting for her to get dragged. Welcome in, Mama 59 Works. Hi to everyone. Like and share. Thank you so much. That's one of my moderators, also my sister. Thank you so much for coming in. So they said that they are working these jobs. The contractor needs between $13,000 and $14,000 a week. They have exhausted their 401ks. And Dr. Scott said the contractor already spent $150,000 on the framing, drywall, and electric. And y'all, the building is still not ready. Sharon welcomes Mama 59 Works. They all say good morning. Thank you so much. I think the voices are manipulative. I do too. But then start that buddy stuff. And then Dr. Heavenly, her size doesn't even look like that's her voice. Oh, Daddy, I don't even know. And then she's in a confessional like, yeah, I haven't seen Damon Jr. in a while. I want to get him back over here. It's like, okay, that's you, Dr. Heavenly. Stop doing that baby voice. So Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott are saying they are in for a total of thinking about 1.8 million. He said he would like it to be under 1.5 million, but they're already under budget. And then she says, we have a friend that wants to rent a space in the building. Y'all, is Dr. Eugene and Toya, but they need the space in about 3 weeks. So Dr. Scott is in a confessional. He's joking. Something silly he said, but Dr. Contessa is really pressed. I don't like this for her, y'all. You know that she had a cancer scare, or either she's a survivor. I think she is one of the women that has that, whatever the trait is, where they go in and remove your breast, and then she had the reconstructive surgery done, because I know her mother died of aggressive breast cancer. So that is part of Dr. Contessa's story. So she doesn't need something that's stressing her like this. 2 jobs, and then he home by 4:30? No, we can't do that. But she did say, we had a dream 5 years ago that we would have our own practice, and now look, we at least have the building. Welcome in, Valerie Jones. Thank you so much for coming in for the live Married to Medicine review. So next we get Toya and Simone. They are going to Brandy's clinic. They compliment each other. They look cute. Simone got her tight jeans on, and Toya's telling her booty look good. But you know that Simone will put a butt pad on in a minute. So she's a trip. And Toya's wearing one of her infamous cutout dresses. So Simone is asking, can I borrow that? Not that one, Dr. Simone. That might show the butt pad. It's got the strategic cutouts. So these two are funny. And this is Brandy's clinic, y'all. This med spa is really beautiful. She gives us a tour of the building. She compliments them. Oh, y'all look pretty. They said, you look pretty too. And she does. She's just a pretty young lady. I just love listening to and looking at Brandy. She's a sweetheart. So she is saying that they do Botox, microabrasion, micro needling, anything that you would need to kind of get yourself where you want to be. DG, thank you so much for coming in during the live. I appreciate you joining us. Spoke to myself in the chat. So she's showing them around her building. She says, I stay busy. She gets a confessional. I stay busy. I'm married. I'm a mother of 4. She has her Medi Spa. She says she used to work for Dr. Damon as a nurse practitioner. And she said, I always give him props. So that's good. I really like that. Toya and Simone go in the room together. Brandy says, I'm not used to doing joint rooms, but Toya says that she wants to get the friendship experience. So she lets them go into the room together. So they're just kind of having conversation and talking. Toya says that she actually dreamed after the event that Quad was going to buy a house in her neighborhood. Her and Kim were going to buy a house together. And Brandy was saying, well, once you dream about something like that, it usually happens. I don't know. If I were Quad, I would not sell my house. Yeah, that's what she said last week. Somebody said butt pads for real. Doc Willie, yeah, you know how tiny Simone is. She's always eating, but she is really little. And she was telling Quiet, you invited me to a party 2 hours before. I got to put my butt pad on. You know, Dr. Simone is a trip. That's what she said. Everybody speaking to each other. I thought Jackie was wearing butt pads. Valerie Jones, it wouldn't shock me. It wouldn't shock me. That's why Curtis is always pulling other women down into his lap. You want some cushion. And then had the nerve to ask Brandy if her thyroid is enlarged just because Brandy is curvy. I didn't like that. So if Quad is house hunting, we don't know yet. We know that they're trying to have a child together, but there's no marriage yet. So let's see. Eugene. Oh, Eugene. Well, one of the boys called. I don't know if it was Ashton or the other one. Toya and Simone are in Brandy's spa. They're having conversation. The boys call. Toya said, okay, what's wrong? Put Eugene on the phone. Eugene gets on the phone. Bailey is the 18-year-old family pet, which is a dog. We've seen on Married to Medicine the whole time. Toya and the Harris family have been on Married to Medicine. Y'all, Bailey ended up in the pool. Now, there were two different stories that Toya told. I couldn't really get the gist of it, but we do know that Bailey is no longer with the Harris family. She said the maid Anna let her out to use the restroom and they found her in the pool. And then when Brandy came in and Toya was crying and said, what happened? She said, I let her out before I left. And she knocks on the door to come back in. She didn't. And Anna found her in the pool. So that was sad. Production shows pictures of Bailey at various stages of growth. So we know this is a pet, the family pet the boys grew up with, was there before the boys were even born. And Brandy's like, well, what can we do for you? Simone said, in this moment, what can we do? And Toya said, y'all got any tequila? So they started laughing. Poor Toya. We have a scene where Eugene and Toya throw an elaborate pet funeral. So this was really nice because everybody shows up. Most of them were dressed in white, and some of them brought the pets. I was happy to see Dr. Heavenly show up with a fancy hat. She had Alora's dog with her, so that was really sweet. Ooh, Valerie Jones is saying it. Dr. Jackie is a fraud. You're in the bushes. Okay, thank you so much for coming in. Mama Bees is in the bushes too at the DMV. Yeah, Valerie Jones, she's a trip. She's being exposed. Mariah has exposed her as a mean girl years ago, and year after year, she shows us even more. Insulting Buffy, telling her, Buffy, you are infertile. And then now, what she did with Brandy, I didn't like that. And then telling Black women that they lying, trying to get off work during pregnancy. Terrible. So they actually have rented out a space. They have it decorated really beautifully. They have pictures of Bailey. I love Toya and Eugene's son, Ashton, and the other one. I always forget. It's 2 A names. But they invite everybody in. They're hugging people. It's kind of somber, but kind of not too serious. So Eugene gets up there and speaks. Dr. Heavenly is saying, I missed Mimi's event, but I was there in spirit because Toya was still talking about me. And then she says, yeah, if you talk about me, I bring up everything. I talk about your dead dog. Y'all see how Heavenly do? The second you try to excuse her, here she go, going low. Talking about the dog at the funeral. So Cecil and Simone brought their dog. Brandy was a little afraid of their dog. Dr. Jackie, of course, is afraid of dogs. I didn't see Curtis. So Eugene and Toya take the stage. Toya says that Bailey was like her. She's very flashy. She liked to be taken care of. And Eugene speaks. He said Bailey taught them how to be parents before they were parents. Mimi gets a confessional talking about Steve had a Yorkie before we were married, and I've lost a pet. This went on a little too long, y'all. I mean, I know this is their pet of 18 years, but this was kind of, I think they were doing a lot. So Contessa gets in a confessional and says, this funeral is nicer than the party I had when I graduated medical school. Dr. Contessa, I love you, but you have a spirit of competition and comparison, and that's not good for you. And later on, she's going to argue with and belittle Brandy. This is a preview that I saw online at the birthday party. Just because Scott never threw her a birthday party, she's going to get jealous of Brandy because her husband threw her one. So Dr. Contessa, I got to keep my good eye on her. So Dr. Jackie lies. She says, we are ride or die as a group. Toya says, yeah, when we can count on each other when it counts. We can count on each other to support each other when it counts. So then we get a preview of Quad and Simone arguing. Simone's at the top of her lungs, and Quad is kind of crying, like, tell her to watch herself. So Quad is telling her to get her life together, and Simone is saying, my life is already together. Y'all know how Simone do. So Toya and Contessa drive together to an event that Dr. Jackie is having. All she says is, bring your heels and dress sexy. Toya's fussing, the kids shouldn't be able to drive. Someone almost sideswiped her. And Dr. Contessa is saying, you know what I brought for a Dr. Jackie event, because we know Jackie. Y'all, they have a flask and drinks because Dr. Jackie doesn't want anybody to drink. I'm out already. I had my Dallas sweatshirt on, and the young man gave me my sticker and tagged so fast. He was a Cowboy fan. Sometimes it counts. I know they drag y'all a lot, but that comes in handy. Pets are precious to people and become a part of their lives. That's true, Mama 59 works. This was a family member, 18 years. The pet, Bailey's, was older than the boys. Sharon Gobbo's laughing at Mama Bees. Yeah, this was a time when that was good to wear your sweatshirt. So Toya and Contessa are driving together in the car. And Confessional Toya says that Scott and Dr. Contessa might make good landlords. I feel like they would. They seem really responsible with their money. I remember earlier seasons when they were bragging about how they met. One of it was that they both had incredibly high credit scores. So Dr. Scott is real silly. He was like, oh, she got an 800. You know, it's like that made her fine or something. They had these high credit scores. So Dr. Jackie is throwing this event. She just tells them wear heels, dress sexy. And Dr. Contessa and Toya show up. They have their heels on. Contessa's in like some type jumpsuit. You know, Contessa is a professional. She works out, and she used to do those weightlifting competitions. So she's always been in shape. So this looks like another, I thought it was a pole dance class, but it's not. It's a little bit different. Every reality show has had these recently. So Simone said, I'd rather have a cocktail and sit at the bar, but Dr. Jackie wants to be in a dance studio. So here we are. Brandy comes in her heels, y'all, and her little fishnet stockings and her booty shorts. Brandy, don't let Jackie see you. So Quad came strutting in. Heavenly looked good. Heavenly had on like a cutout type black jumpsuit. Angel, of course, looked amazing. Angel and Quad are built. They always look amazing. Dr. Jackie looked a little funny. She said, oh, there she is when Heavenly came in. She didn't expect Dr. Heavenly to look that good. I think Dr. Jackie misses the chunky Dr. Heavenly, y'all. So she likes that big, wild Heavenly that she can weaponize, but Heavenly's got to tone it down a little bit. Let's see. I think Dr. Contessa lost a little too much weight. Yeah, you know, she has she's working those 2 jobs, so she's very worried. And then she also, I'm not sure what's going on with the health issue. I feel like she was cleared, and I hope that's the case, but she's very small. So they joke about Quad's leather. Quad's wearing like a leather motorcycle outfit, and they're saying she's showing all her assets. She's trying to get pulled over. So Quad's a trip. She's twerking for him and everything. Quad loves attention. Mimi was a majorette in college. Production shows us the picture. She can actually dance. We get a confessional with Heavenly hating on her. She might have been a good dancer years ago. Mimi is my friend, but she's not really dancing. Yes, she was. Mimi was moving like a professional. They look at Angel's body, compliment her. And Quad said, yeah, that's my friend. That's my friend. I'm glad they're still getting along. So Contessa cannot really dance, but she could split. She does the split. And confessional Heavenly said, Contessa done split. Get up. So she makes a face. Jackie jokes, I look like the Tin Man. Jackie was doing some type dance. Jackie, I agree. Somebody spray her, y'all, with that oil. Angel rates herself a 10. We're not seeing enough Angel. When is Angel going to get more than just a confessional? We need to see her in her med spa or see her with her family, something. So Toya says she wants to practice at home, naked. Toya, Eugene will be glad to hear that. So the next time he come in and you put a note, tell him to take his shower first, and then you can practice your dance moves. That'll be cute. So the men meet up. We have Steve telling Damon, you missed a nice event. It was kind of calm and everything. Shamar is funny. He was like, it's usually not. And the men are saying, no. So he was laughing. He thinks they're joking. Shamar, Brandy didn't tell you the way them people acted with her? So Jackie starts a game of questions so they can learn to be better friends. Y'all, Jackie wants to set it off for production. Who goes through their hubby's phone? Of course, Toya. Toya says, I was raised in a home with a cheater. Hello, mom. Hello, dad. Toya just be airing all her people out. Jackie says, I want to, but I can't. Jackie, you the main one that need to. You said you between 62 and 67 years old. You scared to go through Curtis's phone? And he spent half the time in the DR? You over here worried about somebody's thyroid? Jackie said, we just want to get a little more personal. She said, Simone, you wouldn't have gone to Quad's party no matter when you got the invitation. So the group's looking like, oh, ish. And then Simone says, no, that is not true. She says, I would have gone if I had received it in timely manner like everybody else did. So I think Simone is a little jealous that Quad kind of holds the doctors and the other cast as work friends. And then Quad's real friends, we see when Quad has parties and she's online and stuff, Angel is one of her real friends. I've seen her at the party, but it's people like Rashida and Yandy. It's not Dr. Jackie. It's not Dr. Simone. And I think that bothers Simone. So Simone said, that's not true. If you had invited me, I would have gone, but you invited me last minute. You didn't really want me there. So we go back to the men. Shamar is asking about the wives. Well, what happens with them? Eugene says, well, they keep it real. They keep it a little too real. And production shows us Jackie insulting Brandy about her thyroid. Shamar says, well, what do you do? Eugene says, well, you support your wife. King says, well, what do you do if she's wrong? You remember drunk Quad last year picking that sweet tea and Dr. Greg turned all the way around in her chair and King had to stick beside her even though Quad was provoking them people the whole time. So Eugene says, even if she's wrong, you kind of have like a little area where you can try to convince her of what she should really be doing, but you still got to support her even if she's wrong. Y'all, this sets Curtis off. Curtis is like, you can't stand by your wife if she's wrong. We got a situation now where you standing with Toya. Now, you know what he's talking about? He pulled Toya down in his lap. This was years ago, but he recently, meaning sometime in the last year, took a picture with Dr. Heavenly. They're in a pamphlet. It's him, Dr. Heavenly, and his wife, Dr. Jackie. Curtis has his arm around Heavenly's waist, and Heavenly doesn't look happy about it. So Toya went to Andy Cohen's Watch What Happened Live. Andy Cohen wants to know, he's messy too, who's one of the most handsy husbands? Toya said, well, that would be Curtis. And he needed to keep his hands in his pockets. So then we found out last week, Curtis came into Mimi and Steve's event, did not speak to Toya. And Toya asked Jackie, is Curtis mad at me? He didn't speak. And Dr. Jackie said, yes, he's upset because you question his character. So Curtis is going to try to jump at Eugene about Toya questioning his character. Curtis is mad because the stuff came up again. Yes, the stuff did came up again. And it happened. And we saw it happen. I got the clip of it, and then we're going to evaluate it. Jackie and Curtis need to be mad at Andy. Yes, but they cannot do that. They know better than to say anything to Andy. Andy had to stir something up. Jackie don't have nothing else going on. So we back over there with the ladies. Dr. Jackie started this. We got Simone and Quad crying and arguing again. Contessa says, this is like a hamster wheel. Brandy is saying, I've watched soaps. I love you. I hate you. I love you. I hate you. Toya's telling them, are they going to make up or not? Quad's crying. Simone started crying. Toya said, as soon as Quad started crying, Simone said, I can cry too, B. That's basically what happened. So they're all crying. And then some Quad does her 2B acting. Hold my hand. Look at me. I was hurt by you. You was hurt by me. I'm sorry I hurt you. You sorry you hurt me. I apologize from the bottom of my heart. Y'all, this is Brandy and them are looking at them like they're crazy. Angel and them are looking. So they lied. This is a sisterhood. Contessa said, let's all get together for a group hug. Dr. Mimi said, no, let them have that. So I agree with Dr. Mimi. So Confessional Simone says, hopefully they won't have to address this issue again. Dr. Simone, I think you will address it again. I'm sorry. Dr. Simone brings up this beef with Quad every season, and I don't think we've seen the end of it. So Toya says, we're moving on. Would you like to move outside? Because we're going to move on. And then here's Curtis. He's still talking about he don't like when people attack his character. And then he said, well, my wife don't put out untruths about people. And that's where Eugene kind of took umbrage. He said Toya wasn't wrong. She didn't put out an untruth. That did happen. So confessional Eugene is in the confession with Toya, and he said it wasn't wrong. Toya did not lie. So then Steve pipes up and tries to be like the middle ground. What Curtis is saying, if you're in the wrong, you're in the wrong. You have to admit to it. Steve and Mimi, y'all weren't even thought about. So I don't like what you're talking about. Keywan JTV says, King looks like he has aged since last year. He has. Quad's over there driving him, running him ragged. Talking about they're going to buy a house together. You guys are funny. CMP leading the pack. Mama 59 Works. I know you don't watch them a lot, but they are a trip. This latest episode is on YouTube. It's Married to Medicine, and they are a trip. When I show you this clip, you tell me what you think about it, because we're talking about Curtis and Toya. All right, be patient with me, y'all. I just learned to show these clips. All right, you're going to see this clip. I don't know what year it was, but it's a few years ago.
You know he got problems with ass. I'm trying to help Jack. She better get in that ass. You were supposed to stop him dead in his tracks, not sit on his lap. He's a grown motherfucking man. Do you understand?
It didn't bother me.
Even though he put his hands on my hip and pulled me in his lap.
Well, because I trust you, it didn't
But
bother
I want you to trust him.
You not been trying hard to
Okay.
hold your ass down. See what I'm saying? He failed the test. He's failing the test. Come on, get your ass up. You can't put your big ass on Curtis' lap.
You know he got problems with ass.
I'm trying to help Jack. She better get in that ass. You were supposed to stop him dead in his tracks, not sit on his lap. He's a grown motherfucking man. Do you understand?
It didn't bother me.
Even though he put his hands on my hip and pulled me in his lap.
Well, because I trust you, it didn't
But I
bother me.
want you to trust him.
I'm going to show him hold her again. Let me see if that'll. Oh, it may not show again. Okay, did y'all see Curtis? Toya was walking by. Now, Toya is stacked in the back. And Curtis, something came over Curtis. And Toya was a little drunk as well. That was at the couple's. Dot Willie is hollering at Heavenly. She said, you can't put your big A on Curtis. You know he got a problem with it. And he does. This was round about the time he was caught walking through the Hilton Head Airport with a big booty woman. This is why Dr. Jackie, in my opinion, insulted Brandy last week. Y'all saw Brandy in them booty shorts at the event that Jackie hosted. Simone and Heavenly are male identified. They are. You see how Simone's like, you're supposed to get up. He's not supposed to pull you down in his lap. I've never had someone's husband do something like that. And that Sharon caught it. Oh, it bothered her. Did you catch her lie? It didn't bother me. I trust you. And Toya said, I want you to trust him. Mariah was sitting there. Aiden didn't know not to play. Aiden was on the other side of Mariah. They didn't want any parts of that. And Heavenly finally had to say, get up. Curtis he's disgusting, Dot Willie. Curtis is nasty. He is a pig. He's terrible. Heavenly is a trip. That was funny. Dr. Heavenly, I was with her on that. She said, you know, we got a problem with A. Now, Dr. Jackie is mad at everybody but Curtis. And for Curtis to tell Dr. Eugene that Toya is questioning his character. And I don't like them saying that Toya sat in his lap. She should have jumped up, and I don't think he could have pulled me down like that. I just think she was shocked that he did that. For Eugene not to say anything was crazy. That was kind of confusing to me too, but we'll watch it one more time. Eugene's face, he looked like he kind of laughed at first, but then when Toya didn't get up and Curtis was looking like an uncle creep, Eugene got upset. All right, here we go.
Come on, bro. See what I'm saying? He failed the test. He's failing the test. Come on, get your ass up. You can't put your big ass on Curtis' lap.
You know he got problems with ass.
I'm trying to help Jack. She better get in that ass. You were supposed to stop him dead in his tracks, not sit on his lap. He's a grown motherfucking man. Do you understand?
It didn't bother me.
Even though he put his hands on my hip and pulled me in his lap.
Well, because I trust you, it didn't
But I
bother me.
want you to trust him.
Yeah, they're kind of blaming Toya, y'all. That's Curtis's fault. And Eugene should have stepped up then. So now, years later, here they go. And Andy Cohen is the one brought it up. Because again, Curtis had his hand around Heavenly Ways. Now, I remember the pamphlet. Heavenly didn't look happy. I don't know what the event was, but she didn't look happy. So we go back to the women. Dr. Heavenly is saying, I want to bring something up. I'm hearing people had a lot to say about the event with Mimi where I wasn't there. Do you even know what a state rep do? Toya said, I don't give a F. I don't know if they jumped from 0 to 10 or they cut some stuff out, but the next thing you know, Heavenly and Toya are arguing. Heavenly is saying, I'll tell you what they do if you don't know what they do. Toya said she don't care what they do. Heavenly couldn't get her vote. Y'all, they went into this again at BravoCon. Toya says she's not trying to live in a district where Heavenly would even be the state rep because her and her husband move up to bigger and better neighborhoods. So Heavenly didn't like that at all, y'all. They got this feud going, and it is about Heavenly running for state rep and also her keeping Damon Jr.'s record a secret, but talking about everybody else. So Dr. Heavenly, of course, says, and keep my kid's name out your mouth. And Toya said, I'm glad you brought it up. Toya couldn't wait to bring it up with Heavenly. I'm glad you brought it up. She said, I can't do that when you've talked about me, my family, my finances, my everything for years. So then Toya in a confessional says, Heavenly is threatening me that she got a lot of secrets. We see confessional. Heavenly said, I got so much stuff on her I haven't even put out there yet. So I always knew that Dr. Heavenly conspires against the women with bloggers like Funky, like Carlos King. She's always done that. And then she uses her YouTube channel to do the same thing, but she will never out her own information. So I don't like that at all. I wasn't mad at Toya either. Toya's locked and loaded this season, Kiwan J. I don't think there's much any of them can do about it because she's finally getting her revenge. And her and Eugene have been the butt of jokes among most of the cast for a long time. I don't blame Toya. So then that was the end of the episode, y'all. That was the end. We get a preview where Dr. Contessa is yet again yelling at an event. What kind of friends focused on the negative? And Toya said, these do, B, which is true. We get Simone, her and the son, the younger one, saying that rich white people take care of their kids. And Simone starts yelling at Cecil, for you to sit there silent. You know that Simone and Cecil brought a condo that they put the two sons in. They were supposed to be in school. Neither son was in school. They do work. So they're working. Simone and Cecil are paying all the bills and then have to put on hazmat suits and go over there and clean up. I wish I were lying. Y'all saw it. Had to put on hazmat suit and go clean up. So Cecil and Simone are going to have to put a time frame on these boys. Dr. Heavenly did call these two young men lazy. And Dr. Heavenly, that's really not your business. But she did call them lazy. Dr. Contessa is having a pimps up, pros down birthday party. Y'all, I don't like that theme for the doctors. Why didn't y'all do a 70s theme? Last year, Cecil and Simone started the season with a Freaknik party. Beautiful. I don't like the pimps up, pros down, not for this show. So I don't care for that at all. But I'm going to give this episode an 8 because we got a Dr. Heavenly sighting. I really can take Dr. Heavenly or leave her, especially that big mouth. But I think she was missed in the first episode. So what do y'all think about that, her being missed in the first episode? I love how Toya is getting under Heavenly's skin. Kiwan J, Heavenly thought, I'm coming in here. I'm going to be friend of. I don't have to tell my business. And Toya was like, She said, nah, B, like she told Mariah when they had each other by the hair. Ended up in the swimming pool. Season 1, episode 1. And Dr. Heavenly was in the background with Dr. Damon. Bravo not wanting to film her. Yeah, this is going to be a pretty good season. Better than I thought it would be. Because honestly, I was mad about the way they did Sweet Tea. But I don't know that Sweet Tea is a fit. I need to see more of Angel. I need to see more of Brandy. And Dr. Jackie, I need her to go somewhere and sit her brittle tail down. Preferably on Curtis's lap, if he'll let her. And then he can stop harassing other big booty women. Valerie Jones says, Heavenly can keep it moving with her big mouth. Yeah. Oh, Sharon Gabo says I give it a 7 because of Heavenly. Yeah. So it's a passing episode. So I'll give it an 8. Sharon gave it a 7. So they got a 75% or 7.5. Y'all, this was pretty good. She's not a fit, but they used her. Yeah, they did. They used her to get Quad back on the show so Quad could have a storyline. And then Quad done turned around and took Sweet Tea's storyline. Now she said, I'm going to Ghana to get my babies. So we'll see what happens. Matter of fact, they were on Entertainment Tonight, her and King, talking about their journey to Ghana and IBF. I didn't watch it. It was only about 10 minutes. It's over there on YouTube. But those of you who joined me for Sandra P's Gen Extra, thank you so much for coming back for the Married to Medicine Live. It was a pretty good episode. If you haven't watched it, it is on YouTube. It's worth watching. Also on Bravo and Peacock. So I thank you so much for joining me, and I hope all of you have a great rest of your day, and I will see you in these YouTube streets. Bye, everybody. Thank you.